Welcome, everyone, to the BlooHoops Podcast, episode 14. I am your host, Eddie Chavez. Over there, across the sea of sand, is none other than my boy, Ozzy Macias. What up, Ozzy?
What up, man? How are you?
I'm good. I'm all right. A little bummed out about what happened last week in regards to the election, but...
This has just been a bad week for U.S.
Oh, my goodness.
U.S. elects Trump, which I don't want to get into the law, but...
Yeah.
Then the U.S. loses 2 World Cup qualifying games.
Oh, my God.
U.S. has disappointed me this week.
Oh, man. Let's just get through this damn week and just forget about the election. Forget about the U.S. losing in soccer. I mean, hopefully they win the next 8 games, but
let's look to the future.
Enough election talk. I'm tired of this crap, man.
Sick of it.
I mean, we didn't predict it, but let's move on. We're done. And with that being said, Ozzy, what is this show about? The BlooHoops Podcast.
Why don't you
Allow me to explain.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
The BlooHoops Podcast is a show where me and my boy Ozzy discuss various different topics for you guys to enjoy. We talk about a lot of things: sports, movies, whatever. What the hell I was talking about? Oh yeah, just random ass topics, and we hope that you guys enjoy them. If you guys like what we're doing, give us a like on our videos. Subscribe to our channel, which you guys can find somewhere in the subscription button below. And let us know what you guys think. Whether we're doing a good job, bad job, whatever, it's all good. We appreciate your feedback.
Yeah, and don't get confused by the title. I know it's BlooHoops, but we really do talk about a plethora of things.
Big plethora.
Yeah, big plethora. But on today's show, we're going to talk about, first of all, the Doctor Strange movie, which Eddie and I both saw. Secondly, our main topic, right, would be, what's the wording for that? Overblown sports stories?
Overhyped sports stories.
Yeah. And thirdly, we're going to do the Quicktime Events, in which Eddie and I will ask each other 3 questions so we can get to know each other better, right?
Exactly.
Or I guess people can get to know us better. I don't know.
True, because I know Ozzy like the back of my hand. And I think he does know me too, I think. God, I hope so.
Like the back of my foot, yeah. And then, on the bottom of this video, we include the different, what's the word for that? Different times that we talk about these topics. So if you ever want to skip over to any of those other topics, go ahead and do so.
You guys don't care about Doctor Strange? Skip on ahead to sports talk, Quicktime Events, all that good stuff.
Exactly. So first of all, Doctor Strange.
All right,
when did
Ozzy.
you see it?
Doctor Strange.
What are your overall thoughts about it? And where does it rank?
Oh, man.
But first of all, let me hear your thoughts about it.
Okay. So I saw the movie this Sunday. I saw it. I went in not knowing much about Doctor Strange. I've seen the character on the cartoon series, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
I know of him, but I don't know who he is or what does he do and things like that. And so I went in kind of completely blank. I liked the movie. It was good. It was better than I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
However, I have to say this, and this is just like my biggest sort of thing against it, is just I've seen this before. Like,
that's what I was going to say.
I feel like this is a type of movie that we've seen before. I'm used to this already from Marvel, and it just surprises me. I'm not sure if it's someone said this.
It follows that same Marvel formula, right?
Yeah. That it's just very formulaic. Like, you know what to expect going in.
Yeah.
And there's no surprises there. Like, I knew it was gonna happen. I mean, not knew like in terms of story, but I knew like the events what was gonna happen. With that being said, by the way, we're jumping into spoiler territory. So if you guys haven't seen a movie,
that's right,
and don't want to get spoiled, probably skip ahead maybe to like 10 minutes into this video. I think that's when we're gonna stop. So heads up on that. But I liked it. However, it was very formulaic, and I'm getting kind of tired of that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Ozzy?
Same with you, man. I mean, overall, the movie was good. but it followed basically the same beats as any other Marvel movie, where it has those cheesy jokes that I just don't like about Marvel. The whole Beyonce thing, and I think there's a monk that listens to single ladies or something. Like, come on, that's
Yeah, yeah.
ridiculous.
Wong? Is that his name, Wong?
Wong, yeah. Oh, and then when he says Wong, you mean like Adele? Like Eminem? Oh, get out of here with that. Cheesy ass jokes. But yeah, the jokes I had an issue with. And then another thing that Marvel has a problem with is developing good villains. Like, I felt like the villains in this movie were kind of forgettable. And they're spoiler alert, they're not characters that I think you'll see in future movies. They're just a one and done character. The things that I did like were, I mean, the Doctor Strange character was cool, I guess. It was interesting. The visuals, obviously, is a thing I think that stood out, right? I mean, the kind of unique visuals that the movie had. If I had to rank it among other Marvel movies, I think I would put it in the, I don't know, man. Just out of the top 5, I think maybe 6th or something.
Okay, yeah.
Do you have any idea?
By no means is it one of my like. I still rank Civil War as probably my favorite Marvel movie that I've seen.
Yeah.
But Doctor Strange, it falls into the mid category for me in terms of rank.
Mhm.
It's okay, but it's not something. It's not great either. I just, my biggest gripe was against it was well, before I get to that, I mean, what I liked about the movie was that Doctor Strange was likable. He's a cool guy.
Likable. I don't know about likable. He was kind of a dick.
Well, yeah,
especially in the beginning, right?
Yeah, but I mean, he was for the most part pretty funny. At least I thought so. Some of the cheesy jokes were a bit thrown in there, but I actually laughed. I actually got a kick out of those. But what I didn't like was that I thought about it and I'm all like, this is just Tony Stark all over again. Like,
It is kind of, yeah.
like why do we need Tony Stark again? Like, I just that's what was one of my issues with it.
Even the goatee, right? They both have a goatee too. I just noticed. Remember that?
Because
yeah, that's true.
Doesn't Tony Stark start off like as a jerk too?
Not as a big of a dick as Doctor Strange, but yeah, he is kind of that jerky kind of guy.
Kind of like with that big ego sort of thing. And even the what's it called, the master? What's her name? The ancient one. She's like,
yeah.
She's like, you have an ego. Like, come on, like, and again he. It starts off as this douchey guy, falls from grace, looks to get back up. The master ends up dying, and then the villain gets to. It's very formulaic. Those are like so predictable movies, and again, I wasn't expecting much going into it because I mean it's an origin story nonetheless. So they have to show the hero fall from grace. But that was my one of two gripes was that. Doctor Strange was, to me, just another Tony Stark. And then second was the villains. You're right, Ozzy. I mean, you're definitely right about the villains. One of the biggest things I saw was that, what's the villain's guy's name? Not Dormammu or whatever.
Oh, the villain in that movie?
Yeah, the other guy.
Cassius or something?
Yeah.
Something like that? I don't know.
There's this part where he's fighting Doctor Strange and Doctor Strange like hits like one of his comrades, and then the bad guy catches him, and then Doctor Strange is looking for a weapon, so he picks up like a stick, right? And he picks up a stick, and then the guy says, and the guy, the villain, he goes towards him, and then he tells him, "You don't know how to use that, do you?" And I'm like, "Come on, man! This is a battle to the death, and you're like
making jokes. It's not Spider-Man."
And I was just like, what the heck? Like, that's, I was like, come on, man.
He's not intimidating. Like, that's the issue with a lot of Marvel villains, that they're not intimidating. They're, like, always jokey and annoying. The only good one, I think, is the one from, and he's not even a bad guy anymore, but from Winter Soldier, the Bucky, the guy with the arm.
Yeah.
He's actually kind of an imposing villain. I liked him.
Yeah, because, that's a good point, because he was, like, borderline like crazy guy. Like he has no moral code, I guess. He's out there to go cause damage and hurt people. And then on top of that, he's Captain America's best friend. So yeah, you're
Because he's
right.
brainwashed pretty much, right? So
Yeah.
he can't help it. So it's a good character. But so what did you like about the movie? Like what specific things,
I
if any?
mean,
'Cause it
some of
sounds
the
like you did like the movie overall, right?
yeah, some of the cheesy parts I actually did laugh. I did enjoy that. It's a
Like the
very
Beyonce thing.
yeah, even that I started cracking up.
Oh
My,
man.
one of my favorite parts was towards the end when they finally defeat whatever Cassius or whatever his name is, and then Wong just starts laughing hysterically.
Oh, I didn't like that either.
I love that. I was cracking up. Thought that was great.
Yeah.
I like the ancient one. Her character is really good. Even though I knew she
Yeah,
was gonna
it was
die,
cool.
it's kind of obvious.
Hmm.
Um, uh, what's his name? Benedict Cumberbatch. He did a good Doctor Strange. He did actually. Oh crap! He actually did. Oh my goodness. Ozzy, I gotta
Who is
run.
it?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh shit.
Whatever. That can wait.
All right.
So I thought that was kind of cool. Whatchamacallit, Benedict Cumberbatch did a good job as Doctor Strange. It was actually pretty enjoyable. Um, Other than that, I mean, I liked it. It was okay. I enjoyed it over. It was better than average, that's for sure. I give it an
Yeah.
8.5 best,
8.
8 worst.
I give it like a 7 or 7.5 out of 10. So overall, yeah, good movie, but had those similar Marvel tropes. But so that's Doctor Strange for you guys. Spoilers are over.
Spoilers
Next
are
topic.
Ozzy, before we go on to the next topic, do me a favor.
Uh-huh.
I might need to respond to this. Take over for a minute while I send a text.
Oh, you better not take long though. So I guess I'll introduce our next topic a little bit. So our next topic is going to be overblown sports stories. The thing that got me thinking about this is and we'll talk about this when Eddie comes back, but the whole Phil Jackson.
I mean, I'm right here. I'm just responding to a text, Ozzy. So,
Oh, that's true.
but keep going.
So Phil Jackson made some statements about LeBron James and his posse, and then I think the next day I heard a bunch of stories about how it's, I guess, a racial thing. I don't know, but the way they painted Phil Jackson to me is just ridiculous, and making him seem like he's this goddamn slave owner or something. Just going off the rails with this comments. It's one word. Let's not indict the guy as a complete racist, but some other stories that I'll just go over real quick that we'll get into more depth when Eddie comes back is Durant going to the Warriors and how a whole summer it was just a lot of hate on Durant. This was a couple years ago, but the Deflategate, the whole Colin Kaepernick, whatever the hell he did, kneeling down or something. And one of my other ones is the LeBron James going to Miami thing. That was just, I mean, I don't agree with the way he did it, but it just seems like it was overblown in my opinion. And is Eddie back or what?
I'm back. It's just my brother asking me about some package, whatever.
Okay.
But sorry, Ozzy. Sorry about that, man. What were you
So,
saying in regards to? So we're talking about overhyped story headlines,
Overhyped sports stories. That's right.
overhyped sports stories, and yeah, I guess what brought this to our attention was, again, as you mentioned, the Phil Jackson calling LeBron's group, I guess, his posse, and I'm like, come on, man, that's not.
Yeah, I think it was just a word that was casually thrown out there. It wasn't meant with any kind of ill, any bad intent, I guess. But then when I heard LeBron saying that, I forgot his exact words, but he said, if I wasn't a young black African man, he would have never said that word. I was like,
Yeah, I'm not sure. I
I
mean,
feel like posse is just a word about a group of guys that are getting together, it doesn't have a racial connotation, in my opinion. Unless I'm wrong about that. But
I'm with you there. I could have sworn I've used the word before. I don't think it has any. I mean, some guy. I think LeBron's agent looked it up, and it talks about how I guess posse could be referenced to a band of thieves or something like that. But I don't think that word is necessarily used the same way as it was used back then.
Yeah, it changed meanings. I mean, words
Right.
change meaning, right? And I was just reading a headline here on Sports Illustrated. It says, "The NBA has changed. Maybe Phil Jackson should too." Like, it's so melodramatic about. Oh God, I don't know. But that's just one story. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch.
so many out there.
Another story that I'm just so sick and tired of hearing in regards to sports. Now, don't get me wrong, sports are silly in their own nature. If you think about basketball to its basic terms, it's just a guy putting a ball in a cylinder hoop. Like sports are, but they're entertainment. That's pretty much what they are. However, some of the times the media does get they overdo it with overhyped headlines, and I think that's what causes the problems. Actually, that's what makes sports more interesting than they actually are. For example, I'm so tired of hearing this, but Mayweather-Pacquiao Part 2? Like, just...
That that's done. Like, I don't want to see that, do you?
I mean, look, as a boxing fan, it keeps on going, Ozzy. I just saw Pacquiao fight Fernando Vargas almost 2 weeks ago, right? Completely one-sided fight, but what happens? Coincidentally, Mayweather is just happens to be in the audience. And
well, Pacquiao invited him.
Oh no! Apparently, he was just in town, or
really? I thought he invited him. Okay.
Oh, I don't know. At least from what I heard,
that.
I heard that he was just in town and he just happened to show up to take his daughter to see a boxing match. And like during the fight, like you can hear the announcer say, "Oh, look, he's smiling at Mayweather, and he's looking directly at me." I'm like, guys, there's no way this is not going to work. Like,
I feel like that story was relevant 5 years ago. I think that would have been an interesting fight, but now they're almost both 40, and it's like, I don't know. I mean, what? It's not like we're seeing the two best fighters at their peak now anymore. At least in my opinion, but.
That was just embarrassing and sickening. I'm tired of it, Ozzy.
Yeah.
But what's another story you got?
So this is well, you brought up these two, but one of them was the Durant story going to the Warriors. I wrote that one down too. I mean, whatever you think about the issue, whether that was good or bad, it's just the way they covered it was like all I talked about for the whole summer.
Yeah.
What side did you take on that?
I mean, I was on he shouldn't have moved to Golden State, but at the same time, it was just all we heard about was during the summer how, oh my gosh, Kevin Durant's this villain, and now and then what does Westbrook think, and
yeah, it was annoying.
And what does Draymond Green have to say on it? And it's just I feel like it's obviously in the sports world it's important because major players joining major team, but it does get overhyped. Like I'm like, come on guys, get over it. Like come on.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was this year, but I would go on to say a Deflategate was another thing. Good Lord, I was so tired of Deflategate. Yeah. I was just like, good. I'm all like,
didn't it go to court too or something?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's a sport. Like Jesus Christ. I mean, I love sports, but going to court, it's not like a.
And it wouldn't be bad if it lasted like maybe a few weeks, but this thing lasted for months and months, and we're still talking about it today, saying, is Tom Brady the greatest ever? No, because he's tainted because of okay, whatever. Tim Tebow's another one. Look,
Tim Tebow.
Just let the guy rest, man. He's trying his best, whatever. Like, but I can't help but
guy's a schmuck.
Feel bad for the guy, but also it is kind of funny.
I think he's playing baseball now, isn't he? I think he's playing baseball now. Poor guy.
Yeah.
Media has destroyed him. But another one, the Colin Kaepernick thing, whether he wants to where he was kneeling, and then people in other sports started doing the same thing, and then just the amount of coverage that they got. Just let the guy be. Let him do whatever the hell he wants.
And then he has the audacity to not vote, Ozzy. How
Oh
dare
God.
he? And another one of my favorites was FanDuel and DraftKings or whatever.
What happened with that?
Oh, just how they were like they were popping up all over the place. At least in terms of just general commercials.
Oh yeah, like when I hear certain podcasts, they always
Right?
advertise FanDuel, or even if it's not a sports thing, they just
Yeah,
advertise it.
yeah. So, hey guys, we'd like to take this time to nice play
It's not a,
to promote
we're
fan.
sponsored by them. I wish.
No, I know, but I was just kind of tired of it because then they got sued, and then like there was a whole discussion, this whole long media trend of like, is it ethical what they're doing? And not only that, but they would also be shown on like during live sporting events, like when there's a basketball game, the next to the seats there's like an advertisement banner
Yeah.
sort of thing, right there, FanDuel and DraftKings.
What was the issue with it though? That it's a gambling thing or what?
Yeah, that it's illegal pretty much. So it got banned in a few states, if I remember right. And now,
Okay.
and now apparently they're broke or something like that.
Wow.
I know.
The only other one I have is and I mean he kind of brought it on himself, I guess, but LBJ moving to Miami, where he did a whole 30-minute special just to say, I'm taking my talents to Miami. So that one, I guess he kind of brought on himself, and I'm kind of glad he got crap for that, but
Not
that's
one,
another one.
not two, not three, not four,
Not
not
four.
five, but
Jesus.
10 Blue Hoops episodes. Yeah, you're right. He did brought that on himself, but it was extensive as hell. All we heard about was during the summer was this, and that, and I mean, these are stories that are generally good. Like I don't mind hearing about them, but I think the problem comes when they become overhyped. When they become overhyped, that's when you're like, come on, guys, let's move on.
Yeah, we can just take it to a whole nother level.
Kind of like the election. Tired of that. Let's just move on. Forget it ever happened. Although we can, damn it.
It's with us for 4 years.
Oh yeah.
Is there anything else?
Gosh, in terms of
What other big
overhyped,
stories are there?
Gosh,
That's all I had, I think.
that's all I had too. This is actually shorter than I thought.
All right.
Just please tell your media. Tell the media. Stop
And the issue is
overhyping
that there are hundreds of sports websites out there, so they all are pretty much covering the same thing, and I think that's what makes it more annoying.
They all just leech off one another.
Yeah, pretty much.
It doesn't help when when Facebook is publishing fake articles too.
What?
Because one time my brother told me that James Harden was traded, and I saw an article saying that James Harden was traded. James Harden was never traded from the Rockets, and I was so upset.
Oh.
And apparently it originated from a Facebook article. But yeah, sports need to get it together. They need to stop overhyping these damn headlines. We get it.
Yeah.
Find something new. Shoot, who's the biggest culprit though? ESPN.
Well, yeah, there's ESPN1,
You heard
ESPN2, ESPN News, ESPN Deportes, ESPNU. Jesus Christ.
Right. I mean, that's cool and all, but I think one of their biggest problems is that they kind of try to branch out to every sport, or at least every major sport, and in a way they don't cover all the other sports. So, like for example, on ESPN, the main one, you're like 80% of the time going to see coverage on football, which I understand, right? It's the most popular sport, but when you're overhyping a certain headline for football, when you know there's another headline in a different sport, like how about sharing some of that coverage with that other sport? It's like when Conor McGregor was fighting that
Yes?
guy the guy he fought recently.
Oh, right. I don't know
I
his name,
think
but
I think the next day or the day after. Oh no, that same day was the Pacquiao and Vargas fight. Like, how about like splitting up the attention? You know what I mean? Like, because for the next few days, all we're going to hear is talk about McGregor, which is rightfully, it makes sense, but split up that time, use it for something else.
Yeah. I mean, ESPN is a business after all.
Stop it, ESPN. I'm tired of it.
They're after that money.
I know. Good. Is your ratings are down for them?
That's good.
I know.
All right, should we just move on to our final topic?
Our final topic. What is it, Ozzy?
You tell me.
It is Quicktime Events, Ozzy. Quicktime Events, where me and you ask each other random questions to further our listeners to better understand me and you. That was really bad.
That's good. Should I go first or you go first?
I'll go first with this one, Ozzy. By the way,
let's do it.
Our show's running a bit shorter than usual. That's on purpose. That was by no means an accident. We're being more careful. All these people complaining, saying, your show's too long. We're not going to listen to it. Well, guess what? Now it's short. Now you guys can listen to it.
Yeah.
All right. Quicktime Events. Question number 1. Ozzy. This election, man, I'm not going to lie. It kind of made me feel bad. It made me feel kind of like a little bit on the down ends.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, during this time I looked to find things that brought me joy.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask you, what's one thing that you do that either A, gets you out of a slump, or B, brings you some joy? Because God knows we all need it right now.
Okay, let's see. Let me think of one real quick. Well, you know what? It's right in front of me. Let me show you guys. I recently bought this DVD set. Do you see that? I actually bought the DVD set because it was on sale.
That's fucking legit.
I know. I'm going to get a lot of shit for saying I love King of Queens, but I love this show. So whenever I'm feeling down, I put this disc on with my girlfriend and we just sit and laugh, baby. So King of Queens.
That's fucking great, man. That's fucking legit, honestly.
So that's my answer right there.
All right, that's good.
All right.
You heard it here.
So I know you're not a huge movie guy, but past or present, is there any like a DVD or Blu-ray that you would consider buying? I want to have this.
Damn, there was one actually. There was one that was recently that I'm like, holy crap, that actually looks cool. But for whatever reason, I just can't think of it right now. But if I had,
Space Jam?
Nah, that's not. I liked it, but it's not that great. It'll probably have to be the Dark Knight trilogy. That's like, you just have to own those movies in some sort of physical form. I mean, not in some sort of form. Doesn't have to be physical.
Sort of physical form. Yeah. That leaves DVD or Blu-ray. Yeah.
Or apparently in the future, 4K or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but no, definitely those. If I had to like own physical movies, I'd own those 3. Probably the superhero movies. That'd be pretty cool. If I had all the collection of all the DVDs.
Like any of them, Marvel movies and all that stuff.
Yeah, Marvel movies, DC movies. That'd be nice to have a collection. And lastly, even the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about The Hobbit. I haven't seen it. But
I never seen those, but they don't look very good.
Yeah, they don't look very good.
But Lord of the Rings, those are great movies.
Definitely. So those are it. Those are the ones I would own. All right, Ozzy. Next up question. Which movie are you looking forward to? Well, we just talked about Doctor Strange.
Like to finish off this year or just next year?
Just in general.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna go with Wonder Woman. I think that comes out next year, but I mean, she's the greatest female superhero ever. We've never seen a movie about her, so I'm looking forward to seeing. Hopefully, it's good, man. But yeah, Wonder Woman.
I like it. I mean, that's I'm right there with you. Wonder Woman's like, you're right. We've never seen like a superhero movie before, which is funny because Marvel has had like 15 movies.
Bunch of movies, yeah.
Yeah.
My turn. Okay. So as you know, the U.S. soccer team lost twice this week.
Yeah.
Klinsmann has been under scrutiny for a while now. Should he be fired? And if you could pick a replacement, you don't have to, but if you could, who would you pick?
Okay, I might get a lot of crap talk at me for saying this, but Klinsmann should not be fired.
Really?
Yeah.
Stick with him?
I think he has the right mentality in terms of the way U.S. soccer should progress. With that being said, I think the players are just tired of him having this mentality because there's a conflict of there's a conflict there. I feel like the players want to do what they want to do, but Klinsmann is like, don't do that because that's bad for your career. Which then when it comes to them teaming up, that's when the problem arises and they can't work together.
Yeah, it sounds like they're losing faith in him or something.
Exactly.
Or they just don't listen to him anymore.
Exactly, and that's that. I feel like that's a problem. However, I feel like Klinsmann has the right mentality. If I was a U.S. soccer player and I wanted to get better, definitely I go to Europe. Definitely I try, playing for other teams. If I wanted to have like the easy way out, which I feel like a lot of players want to. I mean, who wouldn't want that? I mean, if you could just chill at home and just play soccer and
get a bunch of money.
Yeah, and then keep winning MLS Cups, why wouldn't you want to stay? I mean, it's perfectly reasonable too. However, that I feel like that becomes a problem for the U.S. soccer team because it just won't advance, and it's much harder to go overseas and risk, put yourself at risk. But so with that being said, I think they should just stick with him, and because he has the right soccer mentality. And then on the second side, if they were to replace him, I mean, I don't know much about coaches, to be honest. I guess Bruce Arena is an option. My only concern is that he's already been coach. But that's all I can think of. Definitely not Bob Bradley again.
What about Alexi Lalas?
Oh my, is he a
No, I'm
coach?
just kidding. No, I don't think so.
What about
But yeah, Bruce Arena, I guess, would be a good choice.
Yeah, I guess so too.
Okay.
That's pretty much it though. Alrighty, and then my final question for my boy Ozzy. This is kind of easy. How's yoga treating you?
Good. I mean, I'm doing this 30 days of yoga video. So right now I'm like on day 19. So I'm getting through it, I guess. I mean, it's actually a lot of hard work. Like these crazy ass positions that you're like, is this even possible? But yeah, it's going good, man. I'm probably gonna do some today after this cast.
Legit.
Thanks
I
for
like that,
asking.
Ozzy. Yeah, sounds good, man.
And then, so my last one is, if someone could join the Lakers, who would it be? Who would you want?
Oh,
Not
man.
Durant, James, or Curry.
Westbrook.
Westbrook.
I want Westbrook on that team. Yeah, I mean that's has to be, man, because like he's like dominant.
Yeah.
Easily can change the whole flow of a whole game, and I mean, and he's my favorite player.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a good choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that does it for Quicktime Events.
That pretty much does it, and we're done. Ozzy, what episode has this been?
Episode 14. Blue Hoops. You want to keep going or what? You lead us out. You're the master at this.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for listening in. This has been the BlooHoops Podcast, episode 14. I have been your host, Eddie. Over there has been my boy, Ozzy, across the sea of sand. Ozzy, where can you follow us on the Instagrams and social medias?
Follow us. You want me to include yours, Eddie?
Put mine in there. Sure, why not?
Instagram and Twitter at Writing to Eddie.
Thank you.
And you can follow me on Instagram at Real Ozzy and Snapchat at The Real Osvaldo. That's pretty much it, man.
And that's the real Osvaldo. That ain't no fake.
It's no fake.
That ain't no double take Ozzy. That's the real one right there.
The one and only.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and put the descriptions below and all that good stuff. Thank you guys for listening in. This has been the BlooHoops Podcast, episode 14. I have been your host, Eddie. Across me is my main man, Ozzy. We'll see you all next week.
Shout out to Dirty Whiskey Boy.
Dirty Whiskey Boy. Oh, apparently there's Dirty Whiskey Boys now? What's up with that?
Boys?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I don't like this. There's only one. And that guy is Eric Callow. Follow that man. He's a legend. But no way am I following 3 because there's only one.
See ya.
Peace out, guys. Thank you guys for listening in. See you next week.